welcome to today's tutorial on Loveland by Milky Chance. We want to focus on the bonus track version of this song. There are actually two versions, the original studio version and the bonus track. And since there already is a tutorial on the finger-picked studio version, I wanted to make a tutorial on the bonus track of Loveland. Okay, so we've got a different tuning on this song. Our E string, the high E string, is tuned down a whole step down to a D. In order to do that, you just need to put a finger on the 3rd fret of the B string and tune your E string so it is the same note. Okay? Gives all of the chords a different voicing. Second thing is we need our capo on the 1st fret. Okay, so if you're all set up with the tuning down to D and the capo, we can jump right in with the chords. The chords that you need for the song are E minor, and E minor is open E string, 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the D string, and then the rest of the strings open. A G with open B and now D string, well, if you want to call it that way. I would recommend using this shape of G, firstly because it's easier to switch from our E minor just by putting the ring finger on the 3rd fret, and secondly because we need our pinky and our pointer finger for some little variations on the chords. So the chord is 3rd fret on the low E string, 2nd fret on the A string, and the rest of the strings open. Next chord is a C over G, so we can just keep our ring finger the way it is and then do a C shape with the rest of our fingers. So we've got ring finger 3rd fret E string, pinky 3rd fret A string, middle finger 2nd fret D string, open G, 1st fret with our index finger on the B string, and then open E string or D string. And the last chord that we need is this exact same chord shape moved up 2 frets to a D over A, and that is 5th fret with our ring finger, 5th fret with pinky on the A string, 4th fret middle finger, D string, open G string, 3rd fret with our index on the B string, and open E string. Okay, so if you've got the chords down, let's take a look at the strumming pattern first, because this is also what really makes out the sound of this song. But you don't really have to stick to the strumming pattern that I'm going to suggest to you. Most important thing is that the strumming pattern that is used has accents on 1, 2, and 4. So the strumming pattern sounds like this. And that is down, up, down, down, up, down. Up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up. And as you can hear, it's always accents on 1, 2, and 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So with the strumming pattern, we can just apply that on every chord. Chord sequence is E minor, G, C over G, back to our G. So if we just apply the strumming pattern now, it's if you can play that suits almost the whole song. There's just one different section where instead of going from the C back to the D, we move to our D over A. You have to listen to the song and try to hear where it fits in. I think he does it almost every second time around he plays this chord progression. And He does that also right before he goes into the chorus. And when he goes into the chorus, he goes back to the C and then to the G and then to the G for the whole bar. But otherwise, if he doesn't go into the chorus, he just goes from this. He just goes back to the E minor instead. Okay, so last thing I want to show you is the little variations that are done in this song. In the intro of the studio version, you can hear this. And what he does there is, on our E minor we do down, up, up, down, and on the second down strum we use our pinky to hammer on the second fret of the G string. Okay, then we move to our G, and then again on the second downstroke we use our pinky to put it on the fourth fret, related to the capo of course, on the G string. So, and from there we lift up our pinky and put down our pointer finger on the second fret of the G string. Okay, and end that strumming pattern there. So we've got so we've got up, down, down, up. Move to our C over G. Again, on our second down strum, we lift up our middle finger and then hammer on the second fret of the G string. So, and then lift it back up with our last up down. Back to our G. Sorry. And we then have that little walk down from our G down to the E. And that is up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And on the last downstroke, we lift up our G and put our thumb on the second fret of the E string. So we have this kind of like a F sharp over D before we move back to our E minor. Okay, so the whole thing really slowly sounds like this. The second time around we do this, we still use these little variations. Now we don't do the hammer on, but then slide up to our D over A. So we've got C for a whole bar, slide up to our D over A, back to our C, to our G for whole bar, and then another whole bar with the walk down. And that is our intro. From there we move to the chord progression that I showed you before, just the normal. But you can also fill in some variations here, just feel free to put in anything that sounds good for you, but what I usually do is, I've got this. So I use a normal strumming pattern, but instead of doing a down up to change the chord, I use down twice, and on the second down stroke, before changing the chord, I put down my thumb on the second fret of the E string. So, and I also try to accent the upper strings a bit more. So. And on the G, I do almost exactly the same, but here I just lift up my middle finger to have an open A string ring to lead that into the C. I always use these little variations because I think they imitate a bass line pretty well. So we've got to C, lift off the middle finger in this transition, back to our G, okay, you can also use your middle finger if you like, but I like using my thumb. So the whole thing sounds like this, really slowly. There's one more variation that he does when he plays it live, and that is and what he does there, it's really hard to explain. He just does down, up, down, up, down, up, and keeps hammering on his finger on the E minor on the D string. For his G, it's his middle finger on the second fret of the A string. For the C, he does so. That's hammer on the second fret of the D string, and then sometimes he also does a pull off on the G string. And then back to the G. But yeah, he only does that in the live version if you want to fill it in, but you can do whatever you like on this song. Sounds really cool if you just put in some little variations. And yeah, that's it for the song. You just have to listen to it and see where the different parts fit in. I hope everything was clear and yeah, that I could help you playing this song. And thanks for watching. See you next time.